Then there we go. As everybody heard, the recording is in progress. So we are now live on YouTube. So I would like to welcome anybody who is there watching and hope you have as enjoyable day as I'm sure we're going to. Julie, if you would like to do the roll call, please.
Thank you, Chairman. Councillor Ashby. Councillor Askew. Councillor Attwell. Councillor Bambridge. Councillor Burt. Councillor Borrett. Councillor Bowes. Councillor Brain. Councillor Brindle. Councillor Bushell. Councillor Marion Chapman-Allen. Councillor Sam Chapman-Allen.
Present.
Councillor Clark. Councillor Clausen.
Here.
Councillor Coleman. Councillor Cowan.
Here.
Councillor Crane. Councillor Dale. Councillor Dowling. Councillor Duffield. Councillor Digan.
Here.
Councillor Eagle. Councillor Gilbert. Councillor Gray. Councillor Harvey.
Present.
Councillor Hewitt.
Here.
Councillor James. Councillor Jeremy.
Here.
Councillor Kiddell. Councillor Kiddle-Morris. Councillor Kybird.
Here.
Councillor Ian Martin. Councillor Keith Martin.
Here.
Councillor Monument. Councillor Morton.
Here.
Councillor Nairn. Councillor Nunn.
Here.
Councillor Oliver.
Present.
Councillor Robinson.
Present.
Councillor Sherwood.
Present.
Councillor Suggett. Councillor Taylor. Councillor Terry.
Here.
Councillor Turner. Councillor Webb. Councillor Wickerson.
Here.
Councillor Wilkin.
Here.
And Councillor Wilkinson.
Here.
Thank you, Chairman.
Thank you, Julie. We move to item 1, apologies. Julie.
Chairman, I have apologies from Councillor Borrett, Councillor Bushell, Councillor Clark, Councillor Duffield, Councillor Eagle, Councillor Kiddle-Morris, Councillor Ian Martin, Councillor Taylor and Councillor Turner.
Thank you, Julie. Does anybody have any other apologies that they know of? Yes.
Yeah, Councillor Gilbert.
Anyone else? No. Okay. We will now move on to item 2, which is the minutes of the previous meeting, and I will ask all members if they agree that they are happy with those minutes and agree that they are a true record. You've all had them sent out. Do I have anybody that wants to say anything? In that case, all those in favour? Thank you. I now confirm those minutes, and we move on to number 3, which is declaration of interest. Any members have any declarations that are not on their normal lists? Anything to do with this particular agenda? No, thank you. We now move on to 4, which is Chairman's announcements. I only have a couple of things. I would like to firstly say how much I think that Councillor Trevor will be missed. I mean, Trevor was here when I got here. I'm so sorry to hear that he has put in his resignation, but I'm sure that you will all agree that he's done a super job here. He's been cabinet member. He's everything that one could do for the community. Trevor did and did with aplomb. And I'm sure that you will all join me in wishing him great success and happiness in whatever he does in the future. Secondly, I'd like to thank everybody that turned up to the civic reception that Linda and I had. It was a very nice evening, and it was nice to see so many faces there. It was a different sort of evening, doing it for two people at the same time. I'm never going to do it again because Linda's speeches were much better than mine. So in future, that's not happening. But other than that, it was a really nice night. We raised over £400 on a raffle and a little game of heads and tails, which was quite nice, which was the reason I wasn't going to tell you to turn your phones off, because I'd got it all organised with Catherine to make sure that I cost you all a lot of money this morning, but never mind. Feedback one. And that's all I have as announcements. So I will now invite the leader to make his announcements.
Thank you, Chairman. Colleagues, good morning. Nice to see you all here today. And Chairman, I join you today after attending one of the most exciting events Manchester has seen for some time. No, not the Conservative Party conference, although that was an excellent event, but the Corridor of Life event, Chairman, which took place last week. The activity held was part of the Cambridge Norwich Tech Corridor Partners to showcase the breadth of opportunities across our district, our county and the region. We had the support of our local MP, George Freeman, and a number of businesses along the corridor, including Snetterton's Equipmake, politicians, business leaders, and potential investors who heard about the corridor and how our district sits at the heart of this unique offer for employment and the growth opportunity, both existing and perspectives for into the future. These would bring new and better paid jobs to our area and, of course, create that cluster of industry. And I was delighted as the leader of the council to have had the opportunity to highlight this tremendous potential on such a big stage at such a big platform along national political conference. I hope it will help stimulate, Chairman, some future investment, that local infrastructure required, that business growth where the opportunity sits, lifting that skills attainment and bringing future employment to our district, which would be excellent for both residents and businesses alike. Close to home, Chairman, our exciting Future Brecklands programme scheme continues at pace, with our attentions currently focused on Watton and Swaffham. The public engagement events have taken place over the last couple of weeks, and we're really pleased once again for the turnout of the public who have engaged in so positively like they did in Dereham. In doing so, Chairman, this council has given the people a chance to shape the plan for their towns and their communities and our district for the years to come. And I would urge, Chairman, via the local councillors, so that residents, if they haven't already got involved, please do get involved. Details can be found on our website, and the local Swaffham and Watton councillors have got all the details of when those seminars, both face-to-face and online, are taking place. And while I'm talking about fantastic events, let's not forget about Swaffham. And I'm delighted to update members, Chairman, on the work of the Swaffham Heritage Action Zone, or the HAS, as it's become called recently. And we're taking that big step forward. And members will hopefully recall that we secured a considerable amount of money, just under £400,000 from Historic England. And we've now ring-fenced considerable funding from our own projects to support our historic High Street in Swaffham, whilst enhancing that town further for residents and businesses. And I'm so pleased that local 3 district councillors are leading on that activity. We recently appointed the contractor to support this scheme, and we'll see some of the town's oldest buildings repaired and brightened up. And plans are put in place to complement that offer with modern amenities for visitors, residents and businesses. And on the subject of local investment, I'm delighted to report that this council has secured a further £250,000 to be spent on some key measures to support some of our most vulnerable residents across the district. This money coming from the Contained Outbreak Management Fund, or COMF, you may have heard me refer to it previously, will see around £95,000 invested directly into our housing team, Chairman, to allow officers to specifically focus on supporting those individuals who find themselves in hardship and homelessness to move from temporary accommodation into long-term sustainable housing solutions. Additionally, Chairman, some of that money will be used to fund new grant schemes to tackle some of those long-term issues individuals and the local authority and our community faces. Finally, Chairman, that final proportion will be allocated to the district's existing direct scheme, the work we're currently doing to work with hospitals to speed up home adaptations and to prevent that term bed blocking, which we know is such an issue, and particularly as we move into this winter period. An issue whereby hospital patients are medically fit to return home, but they can't because their accommodation is not appropriate for them to return home to just yet. This money will tackle this issue, and this is the council working directly with partners to do some direct intervention to support our residents. And Chairman, I'm finally pleased to inform you that this council is running for not just one, but 2 awards. Our ambitious Work Smart programme to overhaul and modernise the way this council operates to support residents and businesses has recently attracted a number of interests from our peers across the county and the country at how Breckland has worked. But more importantly, we're now a finalist in 2 categories. One, the National Smarter Working Lives Award, I never heard of it before we were nominated, or the award to celebrate innovation, collaboration and excellence in the whole of the public sector. It's not just councils, Chairman, it's the police force, the NHS and government departments. And I'm pleased that this council has been committed to changing the way we work throughout the pandemic to ensure that we support our residents and businesses better, ensuring that we're where we need to be to get the job done. And Chairman, my final note, just to echo the back of your words, finally, of course, Trevor Carter has very sadly decided, due to personal reasons, to stand down as a Breckland councillor. A former commissioned officer in the British Army, then a local teacher, Councillor Carter has dedicated his life to public service, and being a councillor since 2011, that is no more true than any of his previous roles. Councillor Carter has held, as you said, numerous roles, from cabinet to member development chairman to many committees across the council. And over those 10 years, Chairman, he has worked for the residents of Hermitage Ward diligently. It's been a privilege to have Councillor Carter as an elected member, and he's focused on those emergencies and dealing with energy and enthusiasm, regardless of what the challenges he may face. And as you said, he was passionate about everything he did, not just for his ward, but this district and this county. And it is, of course, with heavy heart that we all say thank you to Trevor for his long-term support to this council and the wider public sector. And Chairman, as you've already said, I hope colleagues will join in me when they get the opportunity to see Trevor to thank him and wish him all the very best for the future. And I'm happy to take any questions on my statement.
Thank you, Leader. That's very good. We now have members have 30 minutes for questions on the Leader's announcements. It is questions on what he has just said. So do we have anybody wishing to ask a question? Councillor Bambridge.
Well, if nobody's going to ask a question, Chairman, can I pass a comment? I've been a member of this council now for, well, since 2003. You can add up how much that is. And I have to say, when I joined this council, I was very impressed with the way this council managed to leave the money in. And listening to the Leader's statement this morning, as he detailed money that's still coming in, I was quite surprised that we've managed to do so well as we're coming out of this COVID. So I think it is worth commenting on that, on what the Leader has done and the various officers, and saying congratulations.
Thank you, Councillor Bambridge, trying to get me in trouble again. Never mind. I think actually what you said was well worth it. Now, do I have anybody that wants to ask a question? No? Okay. We will then move on to item 6, which is questions under notice. Questions under notice have been received from Councillor Clark and have been published and sent to all members as supplementary agendas. Responses to these questions were also provided. Councillor Clark is not here, so there will be no supplementary questions. And we will move on to item 7, which is questions without notice. And I would ask Councillor Jeremy, do you have any questions?
Yes, please, Chairman. Thank you. Councillor Hewitt, a question for you, if I may. Bit of an echo. I'm very concerned about the level of commercial property debt as referred to in the answer to Councillor Clark. There we go.
Hang on, Councillor Jemmy, you can't do that because we've got people listening online. So
Okay.
somehow we've got to try. You may well have to just turn one of the laptops off or something, or move it quite a little further away. Yes,
Conspiracy.
yes. I think what we're going to have to do is to adjourn for a few moments to try and get this sorted out, because, as I say, unfortunately, it's not members in the room that can't hear, because we all know that Terry can be heard without a microphone, but not across the whole district, which is what we really want. So we're going to adjourn for 2 minutes.
To vote on an adjourn.
Do we need to vote on, or can I just do that?
We can just do it. It's fine.
Apparently I can just do it. We are adjourned, and we will put something up on the screen. We will adjourn until 10:25, please.
Testing.
It's working all right now.
What's different?
Testing.
Yeah, exactly. You need to say that.
Is there anybody there? Testing.
Testing. Testing 1 2. 1 2. Testing. One, two.
Look on the bright side of it.
Testing, one, two, one, two.
Testing, testing. That's all right. Testing, testing.